if you'd like to come on in and have a seat for some symbolic support. My name is Steph, or a little inspiration today. We're going to do a pick a card of the flip side, the other side of, I'll put the link below to the OG.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can absolutely hear you. We'll open them up after you choose. We'll scry for shapes and symbols that may speak to our psyche and psychic senses, and as well we'll add on some tarot and oracle. And as you heard, where Mr. Ghosty here is, we have Ghost Tube for any audio additions from the afterlife that may further add to our auric adventures. Overall, please do receive release freely. If you are new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome home, as your presence and perspective is powerful, and you truly warm my haunted heart. So when you're ready, let's go. All right. So we'll go with letter 1, 2,
Yes.
3. Yes. Whether you're choosing one of them or a combination, it's up to you. I'm going to open up, timestamps below and in the description box and or the comment section when you're ready. Taking a nice deep breath and a bigger exhale. Closing the eyes, cleansing the palette of perception, releasing the race and the rush. Activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support in the name and honor of anyone here at any time. Thank you for being my muse, for choosing your adventure, and may you meet a message with meaning. No need to be scared. No one's gonna harm you, not while I'm around. I'll see you wherever you chose. Letter 1, subconscious fun. Let's dive in. All right, so if I recall, the Inkblot was like that, and now we're gonna flip it. So if you'd like to take a moment to see, sense, and feel for yourself, share below, of course, if you'd like, or give it a heart. Any interactions is appreciated. You can also take a screenshot if you'd like, personal use only. All right, let's dive in here. Okay, there's women. You see this, I think it's a shield. They're both like holding it forward. I just got a vision of what's her name from the show Vikings. The main girl that's married to Ragnarok.
Scrying.
I scry. Something along that lines. But these are like maidens that have built or made something for her. I have a feeling. Okay, so thank you. 2 rabbit holes. 1. You are a warrior. I just saw a happy face. One of those happy faces, like tater tot French fries, and then they have like happy face tater tot French fry things. You're a warrior, and you've been working through things as a warrior. It's kind of like a monk warrior or a nun warrior. Now, it doesn't have to be in any sort of religious sect, but if that aligns with you, I love that, and please follow that. This feels like an heir.
False.
Okay, well, easy, relax. This feels like an air of quietness. Maybe your warrior has been resting or needs to rest. And be taken care of. Be taken care of by, like, I don't know, it's something like in the inspiration of monkdom and nundom. I feel very, very nurtured. And I feel very, very welcomed, but there's this quietness that is not to take away from their ability as well, when I'm looking at them, that they too are a warrior. Okay, so the other rabbit hole through this is I'm seeing there's 2 women, and I'm stepping into the middle space, and I've like got my head down, almost like I'm in a huddle. And I've got my head down, and they have their arms around me, almost like a patting me on the back.
Not all of us.
Welcome. Sorry. There's 2 eyes that just popped through right there. See them? They just like popped open at me, and now I have to adjust. I'm seeing a ladybug crawl across my screen. Okay, so something about the eyes. those are different kind of eyes. What's the talisman card? Divine guidance. Maybe the frog and the dragonfly might also mean something to you. Beaver butt. Beaver butt. I feel like I've had to watch sadness.
Devil.
This is landing me in the warrior aspect. I feel like with all this strength and skill and like this invigoration, there's also this sidebar of sadness that is very, very real to see, to feel, to acknowledge. And now I'm being taken care of. It can be absolutely suffocating. It also could be, it can stop sometimes, stop the willingness to fight. There's something about family. I'm wondering if these eyes are divine guidance. I gotta admit though, it doesn't actually feel that way. It doesn't feel that way because that's not the way my initial instinct was to acknowledge it. The way I initially stepped into this energy was seeing like maybe like these devilish eyes, if I may. And sorry that the lighting's a little bright. And there's like a Hannibal Lecter thing over the mouth. I feel as though strong words, please put them in your own context. But if the message isn't for you, thank you for holding space for others. Something like a prisoner of war, and I'm being welcomed back. Like I've come home. Or like I was missing something. Same with that sadness. It's like I felt like I ran away from home, or I went off on this journey. This could even be like just earthly in general, fighting my way through the earthly existence. I'm sorry if this is a heavy reading, but I do want to acknowledge the paralleling feel is this love and this light that is, it's with all these robed beings.
Candle.
Okay, with all these robed beings, that's even taking away monkdom and nunnery and any other deity, god, goddess that is incarnate on earth. That's the best way they can express the way they know. Their knowing is through this fluidity. And the rope that might be around their waist to indicate something for them, also with the rope and knots maybe of timelines of sorts. I'm not sure, but I feel like if you know it means something to you. And now I've got a fruit fly in here. Like, that's, life everywhere. When I wander into the other aspect of this face, my palm is like super, 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 super itchy when I acknowledge that.
Revolting.
There is an eye in the throat.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Got my witch's wart and all here. There's an eye here. An eye in the throat. I don't know how else to express that. I'm not really sure. Could also be for someone somewhere specifically a neck tattoo, if that's a thing. I'm not sure. Okay, let's add on some cards, and we will. I just want to do this for the lighting and see if that helps a little bit. There we go. You would think by now I would find ways that I like to do things, but I like to try different ways all the time. Okay. Heresiarch. Interesting. See how this mouth with all these teeth, and then, but I was seeing on the other side,
smells.
like the Hannibal Lecter, it's covered. Like if those were the eyes and this is covered. Maybe it's something about hierarchy. a two-handed saw. It's almost like anything that seems like opposition, because I've been noticing through here, letter 1, everything's paralleling. It's not a back and forth. It's been very parallel with this reverb, magnetism, whatever it is for you, your psyche, your psychic senses, or your intellect and your intuition. It's all very, like, I can hear, it's a like a hum. But when I wander into this now, it's like a back and forth. Like, it's almost like a tug of war. That's in the cave of ice. And there's even all like this ice back there. The polymath in the cave of winds in the mind. Look at all that. It's very mechanical. All that sound. Sound and symbols. Sound, gears, gears, gears. Something equals. Equals. I also feel like that might have, whether it's the I Ching or the I Ching, Mayan, that might mean something. It ties in. It ties in. Cave of Hearth Fires, Judgment in the Age of Earthly Hedonism, and behind that is Witch of Swords in the Cave of Hearth Fires. Hee 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 hee.
Pick me.
Oh, I don't like it when I step into that. Hold on a minute.
Hello.
Hello. For some, this might be what is commonly called the witch's wound. Something is coming back. I know it's not coming back to life. It's always been alive, but it's something about awakened. The gears, symbols. This feels very old soul like. Cave of Rivers. You might be an old soul warrior. See, it's almost like I have to be specific in my linguistics of my tongue. Warrior or worrier. And that feels like this Witch of Swords here feels like, oh, for heavens and hot dogs, what's her name? From the Vikings. The maidens are helping her, whoever she is. I can't remember Ragnar's wife. But it's kind of got that air about it. In the Cave of Rivers of how one might be feeling is dead in the water. I'm blowing water out my nose. It's like somebody was expecting me to plug my nose to be underwater, and I've learned how to not plug my nose and just push air through my nose. And then 0 of Cups in the Cave of Earth.
Why is she here?
So I just heard in my head the common phrase, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And if it is broke, don't fix it. But this is bringing me into a 0 field. Is that a thing? 0 point? I don't know. I feel like it might be sciencey.
Are you from here?
It's bringing me into the World card and the Fool simultaneously in tarot, and the Japanese. I believe it's Japanese, where they use gold to fix something. These pieces, while maybe appear broken specifically on Earth or some sort of earthly expression, some sort of energy. It's like a frayed filament. Not sure that's a thing either. That someone thinks something's dead in the water. Like, let's just say as an example, but if you're feeling it, the witch's wound. What was, done in the past, and the hedonism that has been done, not just in the space of historically the witch's wound. It's everywhere, right? Like, historically, there's different contexts, people, tribes, sects, etc. That it's like historically that same thing has been done, and they think a conquering has been complete, but it can't be complete because it's not in harmony yet.
I want to come.
So if you're here, sorry if I got lost in there. I feel like subconsciously you are tuned into the awakening activation. It's kind of loud, or at least it feels loud outside of me. But there's a quiet knowing. Again, I'm back with like the monks and the nuns and the deities and the gods and the goddesses that are in like these flowing. It's like seeing a concrete statue come to life. You know, when you see like those concrete statues and you can tell that they have a robe on or some sort of flexible, fluent fabric on, and then imagine that coming to life. And it speaks to you as this divine guidance and welcomes you in. For some as well, before I carry on, letter 1, if you have felt that you have been held and kept quiet, well, that has its purpose in place. You might be working with
There's 4.
like a silent retreat, a lot of, meditation, or you're just reserving your speech of what you see, what you say, what you see and what you say, because there is also this air of it's a weird way to say it, but I'll say it. It's almost like that air coming out of speaking that frequency is like a thread of gold that would put this broken cup together for this beginning, for this. See, here's the thing. When I say beginning, it's uncomfortable because it's not a beginning, because the cup existed and still exists, just in pieces, different form, and it can be put back together to hold the same kind of fluid.
Revolting.
Or it can become a mosaic of remembering. It can be put back together in a whole different way with new pieces added. I'm not sure where I'm going here. Total psychonaut space. Sometimes a warrior's best thing to do is to hold, keep quiet until, I don't know what until is. Not that there also needs to be this carrot dangling, but knowing when to rest and receive. Because again, these women just keep bringing me in to like, come here. We help. And then I have like these masculine energies as boulders that are protecting. I don't want to say actually protecting, that are prominent. I'm seeing them as stone, so different element. I'm going to say, but they're just surrounded around these women, or the feminine energies anyway.
Basement.
For this space to happen. For you. To continue to warrior and, I don't know, be a deity or god, goddess at the same time. I'm not really sure. I'm going to leave it here, though. I hope this would serve, inspire, educate, or entertain. And if you are heading over to a different timestamp, I will see you there for that letter, or I will see you again soon. So much love. Bye. Letter 2. Come on in. Let's go. Oh, actually, give me 1 second. Apologies. The best I can do is pause because I don't edit. So I just check the timestamp. All right, let's dig in. Reveal. We'll take a look at that talisman card in a moment. This was the OG side. Link is below. And this is where we're going today. So if anything is standing out to you, stop. Please feel well to comment below what you see, sense, or feel. Give it a like. Save it. Share it. Any interactions with the channel is appreciated.
Smoke.
Okay, there's a. I think it's a female. Okay, right in here. It's like I'm seeing this glow and this figure's coming forward. Do you see her with me? Okay, it could also be a tree. I got to decide how I'm going to step in first. I think it's a woman. But she can be a tree if she needs to be. It's almost like how one would say shadow figures. But she's not a shadow figure. She's just a tree. She's in your background. Something about winter is going to prove to be very illuminating. There's an Egyptian vibe here. I think it's Pharaoh-y when they would have
Why
like
is she here?
that. I don't want to bother my witch's word, but you know, like that goatee thing, but it's like skinny and long. I don't know if that was like their beard style. There's also something about a creature or a deity god, I don't know what it is, that it's bringing me into, I think it's lion's breath in yoga, but it has like a face like with their tongue out.
Cheating.
Like it looks scary, but I don't think it actually is scary. Give me a moment. For some, this might be a mother or a sister in the afterlife. Or I'm part of the landscape. It is a wild, wild feeling. And it's almost like this feeling where if you were to be standing out looking at something, like even like a building or a park, I don't know, whatever you're doing, and you're just sitting there or doing something, and all of a sudden, all the shadows from the activity and the structures on the surface, maybe there's a playground or another building and there's cars, and then you take in the slight askewness, all the shadows that are created by this light, but of all these things. Very psychonauty, so hopefully you're still with me. And those all start to come together.
Brother.
And through that, but the light must be there because it's from the light, but it utilizes the solidness of structures, what they cast to cast a container to present. So
Sure.
there's a bird stepping forward it's a bird with a very, very, very long neck. And also something about a hill. Okay, sorry, let's keep going. Let's take a look at your talisman card. Wisdom. If any of the artistry is standing out to you.
How did I die?
I'm not sure how you died, love. You're still very much so alive. Just different density. You see with all the tentacles? First of all, this is exactly how I'm feeling. Like I got tentacles all over the place here. But it's like, imagine all of these tentacles, seeing them come out from the asphalt or from a parking lot, wherever you're having your lunch at work.
Find me.
Oh, I think you're a wisdom worker, I'm going to call it. I wanted to say something else, but I don't know why it wouldn't, like a slip of the tongue. Something about a slip of the tongue. I don't know, maybe you don't say anything or you can't say anything yet. There's a road, there's a pathway over. See, there's two hills, but then there's this one you're going to take or you are taking. I think it's being guided by this being.
Pick me.
And I'm going to go over that hill. I don't know what's on the other side of this hill. But because of what I just saw, and it's like telepathically heard, you're going to trust. You can go this way, that way. And here's the irony. Sorry if that was really quick in picking that up. This is paved for you. I don't know that all see that paved road. It's so beautiful here. It's so beautiful. Shoo, 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 shoo. Sorry, I have a fruit fly kicking around. I feel like I'm in a dream. I feel like I'm in a dream and there's like this gentle snow.
Stalker.
Like if you were in a movie and it was depicting how it's going from like wake to sleep or dreaming, and that's how you know they're in a dream. That's what I feel like I'm in right now when I go over this road. Not necessarily like it's right there. I travel that road. I do have, okay, so there's something about a claw or a dew claw. Something about a bow tie. And possibly a knife.
Stalker.
Oh, oy vey. Easy, stalker. Easy. I feel like I am at a black tie event. Yeah, black tie event. Let's add on some cards here. Whew, black tie event.
Tired.
Yeah, a little bit tired, but that's okay. We'll get some snacks soon. We'll get some snacks.
Satan.
Satan. Satan. All right, let's go. Cave of Ice. Yeah, you're being fussy. I can feel you. Okay, that's fine. That's cool. This wisdom. Okay, thank you. This wisdom, thank you. It just traveled me back to when I was young, and my mom, in her gifts and skills and such, she would go to the store called The Ways to Wisdom. And I actually have like a memory of being in there and feeling a sort of way. Not good, bad, or ugly. I mean, like just feeling a very specific kind of energy. And back in the day, there wasn't many stores. I can't even call it like new age because it wasn't. It was like old age wisdom. I don't think new age was a thing. Maybe it was and I was too young to know. But the places that she had to go were hidden. They were, and you were judged for going in them. But that's hello. That's how you got at least access to, like, by stepping in to these stores, or to this one store. Actually, I don't recall there being a whole many. Ways to Wisdom is the point. And then from there, from stepping in, whether it was different topics, subjects, or talking to the person and getting advice or whatnot, then you could move through to the different sub categories. Rigid is coming in the Cave of Earth, or sorry, Cave of Ice. Which is funny with the Ways to Wisdom and with like that witchy store, because in pile 1, if you came from there or are going there, Deceit is coming through in the Cave of Fruit Fly. Cave of Winds. I worry about being
Garden.
deceitful. I'm just going to note here as a side story because it's there, and that's my responsibility to not ignore it. If somebody feels like they're being stalked, or somebody in their vicinity that is acting like a friend, or is acting like there's somebody in the background, like a butler or a waiter, but they might have a fascination with you. So just be mindful to purposely have very rigid boundaries. Be wise. Be wise. Others have wisdom twos that work in different ways. On the other
It's
rabbit
warm.
hole that I'm going to go through here is when I was talking about the ways to wisdom, and it was, very witchcraft oriented. Well, that was the topical, typical judgment associated with going into like a store called the Ways to Wisdoms. And it's like unearthing is the words that even within oneself emerging. This could be of oneself, this energy emerging from these roads, this trifecta that you have taken. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yep. I feel like I'm emerging now. You've taken a lot of risks, Cave of Hearthfires, to navigate what is, deceitful wisdoms. Just because something is written, just because something is said, just because something is said with a severity of sternness or maybe seriousness, or with the I don't know, there's like this thing behind it. There's this thing behind it, as they say it doesn't make it your truth. And I feel like you have that very much so understanding. So there may be some navigating that you've done and coming. So yeah, see, because now it's all changing, and I'm coming over the hill, and I am presenting myself through this. This is like a different aspect of myself. It could be your shadow. It's a skill that's been hidden. I don't even know if that skill is the right word, to be honest with you. That's not the right. I think it's just a wisdom. And it might rub people the wrong way. But that friction creates fire for you, which you can make something out of. Fragments, yeah, all the different pieces. Also, notably, see how in the artistry of this card, again, it's like all this earthly, and then there's this white being coming out, and then there's all this white, and then I think it's a piece of you. Whatever you might relatively, like a part of you, an ancient aspect. That's why the New Age didn't fit. It didn't exist. Because it's old information. With the discernment to not be deceived by one's own experiences, to say, wow, this has been written and said and claimed, this information that maybe you have read or done or whatnot was deceitful, and you're like, no, that's just deceitful for my choosing and paths. Mm-hmm. 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 Cave of Earth. And here I am now, balanced. My wings of wisdom. Even on the bottom, oh, for heavens and hot dogs. Did I just lose a card? Whew. The moon. And I was going to say, on the bottom, we have movement. I can feel you, love. Yes, thank you. It's like this is the horsepower traveling. It's like being that wild stallion.
Liar.
It doesn't have to be wild, to be honest with you. Just a stallion, a spiritual stallion of sorts. But this is not spirituality in the way one might depict in
Dangerous.
trying to confine it. I feel like once it's when you notice sensation of trying to confine it, then it's no longer in spirit of, because there's so much room for spirit, and you've always taken the leap of faith to feel that, and not necessarily angry at things that were trying to deceive you, or within oneself. Maybe you've been trying to tell yourself you're not
Gemini.
wise, or no, like trying to slough it off. But I feel like over and over again, there have been people, places, or things, interactions in your life, or situationships that could confirm that while you might be like casually, like, no, they know and see something in you, kind of like this little obsession thing. And not that they have to be obsessed, but even just the way they might come to you for, for help or advice, or they just want to be around you. Those are like indications that they see something in you, that while your humbleness or like, no, it's okay, you've had these constant, I don't know, curious maybe, but constant in one way, shape, or another, confirmations.
Moron.
I want to come into, before I move on here, is choices in the moon. I want to note that
Taurus.
there's a turning of the head in one direction. You got like a spiritual six-pack. That's what you got going on. Spiritual six-pack. Strong as a wall. This being that comes through of how I'm feeling in the Cave of Rivers, I feel like you can feel it. Feel it. I feel it in my fingers. I feel it in my toes. You can feel this aspect of you superimposing in, like, and I don't mean superimposing in like, I don't know, maybe it's a hologram, or you blatantly see it in a mirror, and it feels good. I'm sorry if I'm butchering it. I'm going to let you go. I hope this would serve, inspire, educate, or entertain. I do want to acknowledge that while there may have been trials or tribulations that ignited your fire,
Pisces.
it's very valuable, because I think it helped you remember how powerful you really are. And while there may be like, what is that, the Scarlet S or something that there's something else. That's not what I'm seeing, but it's like I can see a symbol on your third eye. Okay, I'm going to go. I will see you later.
Are you from
So
here?
much love. Bye. Oh, for heavens, I did it again. One moment, please. All right, sorry, I had to write something down. I keep forgetting to do it for the timestamps. Anyhow, when you're ready, letter 3. Let it be. Oh, your talisman card is face up. So that's cool. If that means anything to you, or any of the shapes or symbols are moving through, speaking to your psyche. Love it. Okay. And the OG, this is the way we looked at it there. Link is below, but we're going to flip it. Please feel well to comment what you see, sense, or feel. Any insights, like, share, subscribe, all that kind of great stuff. Any interactions with the channel is appreciated. I feel like I very much so like want to just like calm myself down. Okay, hold on. Something's like floating down. I feel like I'm in, I don't know if it's the bottom of a cup or a well. There's a levitation happening here. Something about a diamond. the sun's starting to come up. Sorry if you can't quite
Living
see
room.
this, but the sun's starting to come up, so do my best. There's lots of levitation going on. It's being held by the space is being held by giant guides. Giant. Not tall, not large, or
What happened to me?
giant. They're sending something out of their hands, and it looks like I can just see like pop, 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 like ripples in the water, but it's like I can see it in the air. It's being sent. Like these beings are so large. They might even be elemental energies, if I may. Like guardians and guides of the elemental realms. I'm not really sure. It could even be to the scope of galactic-y feel or galaxy. Like a human, like I'm 5'10", I wouldn't even make it to like the kneecap. But I'm connected.
Hunger.
You might be connected to this. This levitating thing of maybe this is like emotional energy as well. Like light as a feather, stiff as a board, light as a feather, stiff as a board, light as a feather, stiff as a board, light as a feather, stiff as a board. Something's coming down. So is that funny? As something is coming down, I could feel like this coming down, but my posturing went up. And I tilt all the way back and expose
Sacrifice.
like everything. But here's a weird thing when I'm seeing this, like as I'm opening up and it would create a kink in the neck, like a restriction point, that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen here.
I told him.
Something about, imagine putting a face on the moon or something and then turning it upside down. Weird thing. And then there's also this thing I'm seeing. See if I can get a pen. I've seen it before. This will really show my age. But I like my age, so it doesn't matter. You do this. Oh, did you ever do that? That's what I'm seeing. Right here.
Trash.
Love it. It's like side of the mouth talking. And maybe that's why maybe you hear something like that. Or if there's like, I feel as though somebody's talking, like regular talking, but I can see something off to the side. It's like, and I'm like, are you telling that person what to say? Or are you listening? Or are you like mumbling like, and when I look at like the version that's like, and I'm like, what? But I'm trying to balance something out. It's almost like in that, it's like, can I view that? Oh, for heavens and hot dogs. Can I view that without maybe myself getting in a knot about it? It's a very curious feeling. Something about, I think it might be some sort of clock tower. I think it's like a clock tower. Is there like a town or,
Lights.
I apologize, a town or a continent or a country? Is there something specific about a clock tower or that is known for its clock? Like, is it London? Because then I'm also seeing a bridge. Maybe it's London? And again, see, there's this. Sorry, I'm just like sharing what I'm seeing. This gigantic being off the side of this London bridge or clock tower. It doesn't matter. They're off to the side. And they are almost as tall as this like clock tower thing. It's very odd. Like the size and scope of these energies, but it's just like being there. It's like watching a gigantic fisherman. Yeah. I have here, don't worry that you're upside down, deflection and healing with the Holy Daemon, middle realm, and averter of evil. See how both of these things are like depicted so large? Like if this was the earth or the moon.
Stroke.
It's bringing me into the levitation. There's an eye also in your thigh, your right thigh. The radiance from your heart is now mixed with the solar plexus. Light as a feather, stiff as a board. I feel light as a feather, but even though it's like that's stepping into that light as a feather feeling, very spirit heavenly like, stiff as a board, but I'm stiff like in the human experience, like, right, just in density form. It's a little stiff for the spirit to kind of, because I'm seeing it like this, like, okay, you know, is it too tight? Is it too loose? Like, what's going on? But at the same time, very Wonder Woman-y or Wonder Man-y. There is, from a torch, that is the symbol that I think is from 2, letter 2, that I saw in the third eye, like right at the end, which might make sense why it's coming in here now if it was right at the end as the bridge. And there's a symbol, but I'm actually seeing that. I didn't know what the symbol was. I just knew it was a symbol in the third eye. And now I'm seeing it blatantly as a torch in the third eye. But that torch, it's like it's always lit, and it comes from maybe like the solar and moon energies. There's some sort of knowledge. This rattle is coming through as well.
Where?
It's like a rattling of healing. Like, I don't think I have my rattle up here. It might still be downstairs, but it's like a rattle of healing. Cave of Winds is magic, 55 media. Do you believe in magic? Can I get Cave of Hearth Fires? Oh, for heaven's sakes. So many. We'll take them. We'll take. It's like I'm just tired of fighting sometimes. It's too many. So there's an unlocking key bearer, and this is in the Cave of Hearth Fires. Messages and bondage or cords. And this is all up in the Cave of Hearth Fires.
Ceremony.
This is like that heavenly feeling, even with Hermes, which was Megistus with the messages. So there's messages we all know hidden in media. You're aware of it. You can deflect what you would consider evil. and also what you would consider healing. So going to pile 2, if you're coming from there going to, there was all about like ways to wisdoms or ways of wisdoms, and now this is like very much so the energy body of breaking free of any cords that bond you to things that invite you. Just because you're invited doesn't mean you need to go, and all those who step forward to you doesn't mean you need to interact and accept. Something's being unlocked because of that torch bearing ability, because you also, I don't want to poo-poo on magic and or media, because media also has its great place for other energies to step in, but it's like a mixing pot, right? Like a good old big old crock pot,
Are
and you
you
got
from
to
here?
decide what is magic and what is, I guess, illusionary, and what is helping you believe, right? Believing too much or too little, but what is helping you believe, and then going further and asking what is it helping you believe in. And I feel like these are all great introspective things, because by doing so, it's helping me balance my emotional body, very much so sun and the moon. It's helping me levitate, living in spirit and in density form.
He told
Yes.
me.
It's like I'm unlocking embodiment of this. Choices is coming up in the Cave of Rivers. I think this also came up in pile 2, but in Cave of Earth. Number 3 might be significant. Enodia of the Crossroads. So now I'm in pile 1 again, all very psychonauty. So if you are sticking with me, you're fantastic. We're talking about, at some point in time, concrete-esque figures, like concrete, but you could see them with like robes or cloaks or whatever the thing is, but the concrete sculpture is depicted, but you can still get the sense of some sort of fluidity, or what certain kind of cloaks or symbols mean, because there was also a rope around a waist and different things, right, that are hidden in plain sight, but they're only hidden if you don't ask yourself. You might be feeling you're at a crossroads, but see, this is the thing. No, I'm not. You might, but I'm gonna step in here for a moment.
Heaven.
Okay. It's like traveling through different degrees of
Busy.
density. Now I'm like clearing a forest, what I think is more emotional based, or the emotional body based, which is fantastic. Like this is almost like a superpower strength or a super strength that not all will wander to, because it's like uber uncomfortable. Yeah, okay. And through this clearing, I come and I meet this structure, this sculpture structure, and this sculpture structure becomes fluid and into form. The forest around me is simply it's almost like matrixy backdropy, because it's the most conducive for me to
Monster.
have this experience. I will admit, I when I look over, I'm like, ooh, is there monsters in the forest? But I have created the backdrop to have this meeting with whomever and whatever your trifecta is, because this is the thing. There's blatantly 3 different beings here. I kind of feel like I get to choose, or somebody's asking me the question of, if you could have any superpower, what would it be? If you could be, would it be invisible, or you would like super speed? What is it that you would like? Cave of Earth is dedication and devotee. And then you make the choice and you devote yourself to that and you open yourself up. But by doing so, you unlock one thing to certain messages that are going to break you free from other things
I'm
that
stuck.
maybe could be keeping you stuck, because They're outgrown. They're outgrown now. That doesn't mean they're garbage. It doesn't mean they are less than. They were fundamental and are fundamentals. It's like the rope around the hands, and then you just kind of break free of it. And like out of, say, the 3, you choose which one, for now, in one aspect, in a quantum knowingness that all things are being chosen. You choose this one, and now you become part of the 3. I feel like there's a lot of symbols coming up in here that might mean something to you. Because there's that unlocking energy right up there. The torch over there. The pedestal and the platform. There's something spacey going on, though. I gotta say, like space, galactic-y. I can't quite. It's almost like it's moving so fast. I can't quite. As you take one baton, you hand another one off. Yeah, that's how that feels. On the bottom is 48 core Persephone with growth pomegranate. Something about the lips again. I think you've been keeping quiet about something, or you just haven't been able to speak to it yet. Something about Orion's belt. And you might have something connection to one specific star or 2, very specifically. Like aside from Orion's belt, or sorry, is it Orion's belt? No, it is Orion's belt. There is another star or 2, planet, I would call it what you will, that you know you were very, very connected to. Okay, so then I also got a note. I got to wander down this other rabbit hole before I go.
I'm not sure how.
There is an orb-like ship, or I'm seeing it like an orb that comes down from one star quite specifically. And I don't know if you like get channelings or you get like, you know, when they're around, or you have a dream. I feel like you know, though. There's something astronauty. I'm in the bottom of a fish tank, and I am sticking my hand in the fish tank to fix any of the decorative environment pieces at the bottom of the fish tank. So I'm sticking my big old hand in there, and then I'm like, no, I want to lift that back up, or this guy, I want to move the treasure chest around, clean up the stones. Here's the funny thing. As I'm doing that, in relation to the size of this fish tank, because it's not a big aquarium the way I'm seeing it, it's helping me stay in scope. So it's like, say it's this big. This is the aquarium, and now my hand comes in to pick these guys up. I am gigantic. I become the gigantic energy. Somebody's blowing me a kiss. May you receive that one. All right. I am going to let you go. I hope this did serve, inspire, educate, or entertain. I'm so grateful for your time, attention, and awareness. I hope this was a fun adventure, and I will see you again soon. So much love. Ching ching, walla walla bing bang. Ching ching, walla walla bing bang.